What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the podcast. Today, we've got a special guest in the building. Long Island's finest DJ Tone Experience. How you doing, my guy?
I'm chilling. How you doing?
We're doing all right. So first off, with 2020 and like COVID and all that, how did that affect you knowing that you couldn't DJ?
I mean, it affected me mentally, not really like financially. I mean, it affected me in all ways, but you know, like everybody that has a goal or a vision, like they try to like seek their way out of any type of struggle. You know, like everybody doesn't have the same mindset, but like fighters do. You know.
Yeah.
So I found my way, and I still, you know, came up, made my money, did it the right way. You know, I didn't really let it affect me like that.
Definitely. Now, with this last EP you dropped earlier this year, now I liked all the songs off of it, but my favorites was City Boy Love 1 and Dear Mama Interlude.
Appreciate that.
How, what went into
That's fun.
that?
That's actually funny because not a lot of people like that. That
Which
second
one?
song, you know, is the Dear Mama Interlude.
No,
That's just because a lot of people like they don't like sentimental songs, like they don't like music about real shit, you know.
that's sort of what I connect to when I'm listening to an artist. Like, I sort of relate more to the struggle than like the fancy cars and all that people be rapping about.
Yeah.
I really like more when people talk about where they came from and how they grew out of that. And so that's why I liked that song the most, knowing that you had a lot of struggle coming up.
Yeah.
Now,
100%.
what were some of your personal favorites off that album and or EP?
My favorite song was Dear Mama Interlude, just because I feel like I put more emotion into that song than any song on that. But if I was to say like, oh yeah, which song was like my favorite out of all of them, it was Freaky, because I wanted to drop that for like a long ass time. I had that since 2019, so that was like a song I've been holding for like a good amount of time, man, like 2 years. So that was the song right there.
So also over the past year or so, you signed with QC.
Yeah, Quality Control.
How much input did they have over this EP?
No, they honestly, they don't really have anything to do with like my music. They have all to do with like my bookings with like DJing and shit like that.
And stuff.
Yeah, so that's the difference between like being a DJ and an artist, you know.
Yeah.
Some people like they just DJ and they get signed to be a DJ, but yeah, you can get signed to be a DJ, but at the end of the day, it's like the big goal is getting signed to be an artist, you know.
Yeah.
Two separate different things. So you can get signed to QC to be a DJ. You can get signed to be an artist, manager, A&R. It doesn't matter. Like it's just all different branches in QC. So you know, I'm climbing my way to the top. Once I get in there, you already know.
Now, what's it been like being signed to QC, being signed to a major label? Has there been a lot more calls now, or is?
Yeah, I mean, people see my profile and they just like automatically think like, oh yeah, like he's official, like he's that, and like it's just a good look, you know. It's not really anything like special to me. Like being signed is just a good look to get you more money later, later on in life, you know.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, it's not really much. I feel like.
So, lately I've you did a party with Busy Banks.
Right. Well, no, that wasn't my party. That was DJ Sosa's party, Heartbreak Kids.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I just performed.
Okay.
There.
Okay.
Word. You know Busy Banks?
Yeah.
Word.
And you dropped your own type of drill song.
Yeah.
The freestyle.
King Long Island freestyle. Yeah.
It's one of my favorite songs
Word,
that you've dropped.
Appreciate that shit for real. Word.
I like
hottest song on the island.
The main thing I like about the song though
Word.
is how you changed Amazing into a drill song.
Yeah.
Like what went into that process and what made you think to do that?
Honest, I found the beat actually on YouTube, and I found it in the producer that made it was actually like he was like gonna come up, and he got mad followers and shit like that, but he's not like like official yet. So I was like, you know what, let me fuck with this guy, because you don't want to fuck with a Jalil Beats, like somebody that makes crazy ass beats and like with big ass artists, because they're gonna charge you bread to be on their beat. So It was like I want to work with somebody that's like up and coming like me, got a little bit of clout like me, and still doing their thing and they're grinding like me. So I contacted him and he was like, yeah, bro, like, you know, you got the beat, da 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 da. I was like, all right, bet. So I bought the beat, recorded that shit. I actually bought it 2 times by accident. So I knew it was meant to be. I was like, nah, like, now I gotta really like put that work in to the song. Yeah. So that song was just like a miracle. It just was a whole lot of shit going on around that time, and I just felt like I need to get a lot of shit off my chest. You know, when you get slept on, bro, that shit is quite annoying.
Yeah. Definitely. Yeah.
That shit is quite annoying. And I'm not a rapper, but I had to let that out. Just to let people know, like, I could do anything I put my mind to.
You've been booked I think you've been booked for shows, or you've had the party of with Pop, TJ.
Nah. Well, both of those, I DJ'd for those events, but it was Honcho, my boy Honcho and DJ Sosa's event. You know, they be doing their thing. Shout out to Heartbreak Kids and DJ Sosa, man.
So he brings you out for basically most of his events.
Like all the concerts, shit like that.
Did you get any like advice out of that, because you've been around a lot of the drill scene now, being with like Fabio, being like
Smoovel.
Word,
I feel like you don't really get advice from it. It's just all like,
just rubs off.
Yeah, it just rubs off. Like you walk into it, you see what you got to do. Like, first of all, always watch your back, cause like you're around a whole bunch of people that gang bang all day. You feel me? So you gotta always watch your back. Like, always make sure that you like on go.
Yeah.
Find a way to get out of there if something crazy happens. So that's like my first mindset. Not to drink crazy at any of these crazy ass events, but that's really it. I just learned to like not use it to like chase clout and shit like that. Use it to make yourself look better in life, you know.
Yeah.
Don't use it. Put it down in your resume. Put it down in like in your in your EPK. Like, stop using it to gas yourself or make yourself feel better. Like, use it to push yourself and push your business. Don't use it to like push the clout that you got. You know, it's like a difference between business and clout.
Yeah.
People don't understand that. But like, if you want to be bigger in life, of course, like getting next to Drake, getting next to these bigger artists is gonna help you. But you can't be like using it to the fullest to make yourself that bigger person. You know.
Yeah.
So some people are like that. Like, they'll be like, "Yeah, I was around Drake. I was around this." Like, nah, bro. Yeah. Like, calm down. You know, that's like the last thing you should be saying.
Yeah, it's the weirdest thing when people use that as like a flex.
Yeah.
But you said before something that was interesting to me. You said you're a DJ. You're not a rapper. Are you?
No, I'm an entertainer. Yeah, I would say I'm an entertainer. I'm an entertainer first. So I was rapping way before I started. I was making music. Let me say that I was making music way before I started DJing, and a lot of people weren't like in tune with my music, and like they didn't give a fuck. So I was like, you know what? I used it, and I just stopped doing it.
Yeah.
2 months after that, I picked up the turntables. So that's when I started like progressing. I found out that more people like that I like DJ than being behind the scene with the music and shit like that. So I took DJing and I just kept going with it.
But now you have a lot of songs out, and you have.
Word.
You think you're gonna try and transition back to trying to be a rapper again, or are you gonna? Are you gonna try?
I'm just gonna use all my talents possible. You know, like, I can't just think about one thing. You know, I'm a DJ, but like, I just gotta ride out with the songs I got. Like, I'm not gonna be dropping songs like every month. Like, I'm an artist. I'm this. I'm that. Like, nah, bro. Like, what I'm gonna do is like, I'm gonna throw parties, perform at my parties. I'm gonna drop one song, ride it out for the whole summer, like shit like that. Like, artists drop songs like once every month, like get in tune with their fans and da. Like, the way I get in tune with my fans is throwing events, throwing parties, getting outside, just being outside in general, walking around the mall, going to different places. Like, that's good engagement. Like, just showing that you care about the people, So I don't gotta drop a song every week for people to know that like I'm engaged with the people that support me.
Yeah, definitely. You got other avenues to show your talents. Yeah, which is one of the most important things when you're in this industry. But being one of the leaders of the Long Island movement, who are some other artists that you think are going to make a come up soon?
My boy Uno Way. Yeah, my boy Uno Way. He's doing his thing right now. Mike. Psych.
His career is fried.
I'll say, my boy Uno Way, my boy Passport General, my boy FK Mon, they doing their thing right now, man. That's my three.
That's your top three
That's
coming
my,
out right
nah,
now?
I want to say my top three. We got J Wavy, we got Lil Bands, Got a Warning. Those are a few artists right now that like been doing their thing, like pushing and pushing and pushing. Let me not forget Cartier JoJo. That boy, like I grew up with him, like he's doing his thing crazy right now, like on the grind. One of his songs went viral on TikTok like a few months ago, and he rolled that out, so that was good.
Wow.
Yeah, so Long Island's trying to come up. The thing is like nobody has an outlet, so nobody like you wouldn't even hear about certain people that like that's from like different areas on Long Island. You just hear them like if somebody bigger on Long Island shouts them out. So you know what I do? Like I try to show love to a lot of people because I know that one repost can help like all of Long Island get to know each other. Like
exactly
exposure, man. That's all that matters.
I feel like Long Island gets a little disrespected when it comes to the rap game because of the city and how that has had such an impact on the game.
Yeah.
From
right.
such a long time ago that now Long Island's trying to come up, and Long Island is generally known as because the Hamptons is the most recognizable place. So it's known as like a rich boys place. So it's not supposed to have a hip hop scene, but there are other facets to Long Island that people don't see.
Yeah.
And and so I feel like at some point it's gonna pop off, and I hope you're one of the leaders of that movement.
I appreciate that. We need the next like Public Enemy.
Yeah.
Honestly, like that group was just structured, like staying together, brotherhood. Like I tried to start this brand called Long Island versus Everything, but like I'm not gonna say like it's shambled, but everybody like on the team just gotta pick their shit back up and just keep going with it.
Yeah.
You know, it's bigger than just selling hoodies and throwing events. Like Long Island versus Everything was literally like just trying to bring every influencer from Long Island together to like conquer. That was really it. So we're gonna figure it out.
Definitely.
Like I said, like I told my team, I was like, listen, like it's not gonna be easy. Like it's not gonna take a year. It's not gonna take 2 years. It might take 3, 4, 5 years. Yeah. But we gotta make it happen. You know, as long as everybody puts their foot on the gas. That's it.
So, in the song that we were talking about earlier, Dear Mama Interlude, you brought up growing up in Quorum City. How has that impacted your life, and what experiences did you get out of growing up in that area?
From what I remember, it was just a whole lot of like when I was younger, I didn't really go out a lot, but when I started to go out and I started to hear gunshots and I started to hear like a lot of shit going on in my neighborhood, I didn't believe it at first, but it made me not even want to go to high school at first, because I was like, nah, like this shit is not real. And like people think like, oh yeah, Long Island's this, Long Island's that. Like nah, bro. Like when you live in certain neighborhoods in Long Island, bro, like you see crackheads, like you see people that are like fiending for bread, like you see people that are like struggling, you see prostitutes, you see drug dealers that are selling to the crackheads that are almost dead on the street, bro. Like that shit is just, it's like the circle of life, but at the same time it's like it's sad, bro. And it's like nobody from my area has like really put their foot down and said like, yo, I'm really gonna make a change and make this like you know, change up Quorum and like the way it is. Like everybody just wants to be a rapper or a baller. And like right now I feel like I was like the only DJ to really come out of Quorum. Yeah. You know, so I'm gonna use my platform to my ability and try to like get people in my area like known and shit like that.
Yeah, I think a lot of people in Long Island sort of try to believe the stereotype that we're just it doesn't exist. The hood doesn't exist here. But it just so they turn a blind eye to some of these issues that are going on. Yeah. But a lot of Long Island is sort of turning a bad leaf. Like you got Wyandanch, Quorum City, you got a lot of these places. it's not always the easiest place to grow up.
At all. As long if you was from Coram, Wyandanch, Brentwood, Hempstead, where else? Another CI kinda. You was really going through it in life. Like, you really like came from the dirt kinda.
Definitely.
Kinda somehow you came from the dirt, because like a lot of people in that area, like, it's not cool.
Yeah, it's
not good. It's not a good town. Now a lot of people do not come from good places, man, in that area, because I'm not going front. Like, I feel like being around that shit, like growing up, like being around prostitutes, like that just, like, I'm looking at them ladies like, yeah, like I want some, because I was like mad young, you know.
Yeah.
And then at the same time, I'm just like, nah, like this carry STDs, AIDS, fucking all different type of shit, and then later on in life, you're just like, oh nah, like I'm happy I didn't do that dumb shit when I was younger, when I was actually a virgin, and I lost it the way I did because, you know, I was hot in the pants when I was younger.
Let's get off a little bit of these sadder subjects. What are some of your influences going up in DJing and rapping? Like, what are some of your influences? Who would you look up to?
Like before I started, or like, what do you mean by that?
Anyone who influenced you to start DJing, like any DJs out there that really inspired you to?
No. Alright, so the way I started DJing was like basically my uncle was a rapper, and he was basically telling me like, oh yeah, when you get older, well, he named me DJ Tony. He was like, yo, this your name, you gonna be my DJ, we gonna go on tour, we gonna do this, we gonna do that, and I was like, I bet, like, let's get it. And then he was just getting me mad excited when I was younger.
Yeah.
But then, like, you know what's crazy? While I was doing that, I was still making music at that time. Like, I was like writing and making music, and I wanted to record with him. He would be like, nah, you can't record. You a DJ. Don't do that, you know what I mean? So it was like, you know, like as a little kid, like you want to make music too, you know?
Yeah.
So I was like, all right, fuck it, like, I don't care. But that name, DJ Tone, always stuck with me since like I was like 8 or 7. I forgot what age I was. So growing up, and then I finally like found out that like I have a musical talent, and I just didn't know where it was. It was literally like, you know how like when you dance, right?
Yeah.
And you have to be on rhythm, like point to rhythm, and like, bro, like my rhythm is like literally what makes me the DJ I am today. Like, I was a dancer before I was a DJ. Yeah. And like just knowing rhythm and just knowing like my BPMs and knowing like when to start another song, how to mix it and get everything like, you know, perfect on the mix. It all came from dancing. Yeah. So like learning rhythm was literally like a talent basically. Yeah. So I taught myself and I inspired myself to be a DJ by dancing. And who inspired me to dance? My mom. So everything always leads back down to my mom. So
that's interesting, because never heard someone say that like the reason why they got into music is because, or why they're good at music is because of their dancing talents. But it actually makes a lot of sense.
It does.
So what about like rapping in general after your uncle?
I mean, my music, I wouldn't say rapping, I would just say music, because I'm an artist. Growing up, I was listening to a lot of James Brown, let's say Black Eyed Peas, Eminem, and 50 Cent on repeat. Literally Michael Jackson, James Brown, 50 Cent, Black Eyed Peas, and Eminem on repeat all day. Literally, that's all I used to listen to. So, like, my energy came from all 5 of those people. And growing up, I just learned about different artists and shit like that. So, eventually, my favorite rapper became Tupac. My favorite singer became Chris Brown. My favorite pop artist became Michael Jackson. And overall, like, my energy just came from James Brown. You know, like, dancing and shit like that.
Yeah.
So,
that actually makes a lot of sense, because all those guys really had like high energy. Yeah. That's what I get out of your music, is your very high energy. Especially King of Long Island freestyle. It's just like high energy, just going at it.
Word.
And so it makes a lot of sense. So yeah, Now, this podcast is mainly more about sports. So, is there any sports that you follow?
I play basketball.
You play basketball?
I mean, I don't watch it no more, but I play it, so I keep it a buck. I don't even watch sports. Yeah, I watch myself. I'll be watching myself. I'll be like, yo, what did I do this party? How can I fix it?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I'm in my room, just analyzing myself. I don't got no time to be watching TV.
So you'd be watching film, basically, like
film. Like I'm like a basketball player.
Yeah.
Like, you know how basketball players watch film and football players, like, that's how you learn.
Yeah.
That's how you learn the concepts.
Do you watch that film on other DJs to see how they did their thing and try and implement that into your stuff?
Hell
Or are you?
no. Hell no. Yeah, it's not that deep.
Yeah.
What I'll do is, like, let's say a big time DJ comes to Long Island, I'll come to the event and I'll just sit down and listen.
Yeah.
And if I can't learn from you, then you're not a good DJ to me.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I literally sit there and I'm like, all right, you know what? He sounds alright. He's generic. He's basic. He's that. But if somebody does something that literally opens my eyes, I'm like, oh shit! Like, he really just did that mix right there, and the way he was talking on it, and like, nah, you got it. You know what I mean? So some DJs really make you think, like, oh yeah, like, I gotta become better. Like, I gotta work harder. I gotta do this. But some DJs just aren't.
Yeah.
You know.
All right. Well, I think that's where we're gonna end it off. Thank you
No
for
problem, bro.
coming on.
Anytime.
Like, comment, subscribe. Stay tuned for the next episode. Peace.
Let's get it. Wow.